God, I'm on HBO Max. Let's watch Bugs Bunny. Pornhub? What's going on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to yet another edition of the DCEU Daily. We do live in a crazy world. It's bad enough. Yesterday we had to put up with those horrible cringe International Women's Day posts. I mean, the boyfriends and the husbands are the worst ones. It's like if they don't put some kind of iconic thing up on Twitter or Instagram about their women, it's like they won't get none that night. Anyway, welcome to the DCEU Daily. And is it sabotage? What actually happened? So let's go back. Let's backtrack and let's kind of explain what happened here. So I was asleep. America's awake when I'm asleep. I can't be up 24 hours a day, right? Anyway, I wake up and I've got my fellow members of the Restore the Snyderverse community ranting and raving. WB, HBO Max, what have you done? Sabotage! Let's get them! So I'm thinking, well, it's just another day on Twitter, really, isn't it? Anyway, then I'm hearing about leaks, but considering everyone wrongly said the Darkside promo was a leak, it was definitely a promo, even though it looked kind of piratey. When I first saw it, it was basically cut together as a promo. Either it was done by a fan or it was official. Ray Porter came in, the legend, and told us, don't worry, you can watch it as many times as you want because it's a real one. Thank you, Ray, for that. Great guy. Anyway, people went on to HBO Max to watch Tom and fucking Jerry. Great movie, by the way. I thought Chloe did a great job on that film. Love you, Chloe. But anyway, so people went to watch Tom and Jerry, and Zack Snyder's Justice League came on. I mean, I always miss the good stuff, don't I? I mean, how would I have felt about that? And apparently it's not the film from beginning. I think it's like the last hour and a half of it or something. Anyway, once HBO Max realised what was going on, they obviously blocked it and turned it off. This was reported in the Hollywood Reporter and all the major kind of sites. So this is a thing. This is not like normal when like my fellow Restore the Snyderverse fandom is like, oh, Jeff Johns just pushed an old lady in the middle of the road. Get Jeff Johns. You know, that kind of thing where it can't be corroborated. This is official. This happened. Everyone's joking about it. Unfortunately, there were many rumours. Many people are claiming that were many leaks from that mistake from HBO Max on social media. I'll be honest. I've been up and down. Well, I went up and down with quite a few women prior, but I went up and down my timeline. And nothing. I kind of did some search things in the Twitter search engine. No leaks whatsoever. So I haven't seen nothing. There's some people joking about what they saw, but I don't know what happened. I still don't know what's happened in the film, so I'm happy about that. And so, yeah, we have to ask the question on today's DCEU Daily. I can't stop laughing because it's a ridiculous situation. But we do have to ask the question, is it sabotage? It's a difficult one. Look, this is something that's happened before. I have experienced this a couple of times on Netflix, and no, I don't have detailed examples for you, but I do remember sometimes sometimes you go and you can download stuff on Netflix and Prime Video, and I've done it before and had totally the wrong film. In fact, yesterday I tried to download the Wonder Woman trailer, and I got the wrong trailer. So these things do happen, but of course this is on a massive scale. This is for the most hyped event in cinematic history. So listen, don't think I'm mocking my fellow Snyderverse fandom's frustration, because not. I'm frustrated and I'm angry as well. But is it sabotage? Listen, it's either sabotage or they've done this on purpose to get the hype engine going. Now, obviously, we're talking about the last hour or so I don't know if people got to see the actual ending of the film. That's interesting. But half a film really isn't any good to anyone. I mean, you could kind of say it is sabotage because it is the last end of the film, which means that they're really trying to spoil the main part. And so, listen, it absolutely could be sabotage. It could be them doing it on purpose. As I said, to get more hype up. Not that they need the hype, but everyone's talking about it. Look, Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut is trending every day. I mean, this is why he's doing the daily promos. But you know what? I've had issues with Ray Fisher in the past being negative, going in places and directions with his fight to get justice and all of that. But I will say something. He was the most positive one about it. He goes, you know how you can beat these leaks? Stream the hell out of Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut on the 18th. And Ray is absolutely spot on. This is what we've got to do. And I don't have access to HBO Max. I'm in Cyprus. Most of you haven't heard of Cyprus. You know what you should all do so you know where I'm from? This would be fun. I want you to Google Cyprus, but not Cypress in America. It's Cyprus. Check out where I live. And I live in southern Cyprus because Cyprus had a little issue many, many years ago. So it's half. The north is the Turkish side and the southern side. I know this is nothing to do with DC, but I want you to know where I am because most of you have never heard of Cyprus. So, yeah, the southern side where I am is the Cypriot side. So you can find out whereabouts in the world I am. And maybe you can find out how I can watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. At this moment in time, I'm hearing that the only way you can watch it in the UK is by buying it pay-per-view on Apple, Amazon Prime. Now, I've got access to Prime UK, so I'm assuming that's how I'm going to do it. Now, in Germany, they're very lucky. Sky Germany are having Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. So if you're a subscriber, you can just watch the hell out of it. Very, very lucky. I used to be able to roam on Now TV, which was Sky. Since Brexit, I can't do that. Actually, I did buy, you're going to hate me for this, but I did buy Wonder Woman 1984 yesterday. But you know what? It has got a really powerful, emotionally charged third act. It's a solid enough film. And it's DCEU. I'm a DC fan. What can I say? Anyway, and I love Gal. And I always want to support Gal as Wonder Woman as well. So there's that. So with the Wonder Woman promo, it's very interesting. And I'm surprised many people haven't kind of made the comparison here. It's very interesting to see that Wonder Woman promo and see that kind of Zack's version of Diana compared to Patty's version of Diana. So Patty's version of Diana, a.k.a. Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman 84, is no swords, no shields. Obviously, in the first one, she didn't get her own way. She didn't want a sword. She didn't want a shield. She wants, like, peace out, Diana. But we can't hurt those people, Steve, because it's not their fault kind of thing. It's great to see a hero say that, but in reality, no person with a heart and a soul and a mind is going to react that way. It's going to be, let's wipe those fuckers out. That's the reality of it. That's Zack Snyder's kind of way of doing it, isn't it? Let's wipe those fuckers out. Let's meet fire with fire. But Patty's going, no, it's peace, man. And it's different. Where Diana has got the sword, you see her jump up in the air and go after Steppenwolf as well. Look, they're two very different takes. Well, you need to understand this. Both Patty's version and Zack's version in different times have been versions in the graphic novels, the DC Wonder Woman graphic novels. So not one of them is taking these characters out of context, but it's all about personal perception and what kind of Wonder Woman you want to see. Personally, I do want her to be with the sword and the shield because I think it's much more epic. So watching that yesterday, I couldn't help but think to myself, wow, Zack's got a really different idea and vision for Wonder Woman than Patty does. And I think both of them are viable, but cinematically, the one with the sword, basically this warrior is more cinematic, if you like. If she's in a TV show, she can be like, peace out, man. But when you're doing a 2.5 hour movie, let alone a 4 hour movie, that's just not very interesting. And I think that's partly why Wonder Woman 84 wasn't very interesting. And can't wait to see Wonder Woman and the rest of the team in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So if you are upset about the league, think about it this way. This is going to get the hype engine higher and higher. Trending more, talking about it more. People are more intrigued about the film. It's become this thing where before it was just a few of us talking about it. And now the whole world is talking about it. So even though I do share your frustration and anger, and obviously if it's a dubious thing that's been done on purpose, then it is very, very problematic. But there's nothing we can physically or emotionally do about this. I think My fellow members of the Restore the Snyderverse community have been great. They've been blocking everyone leaking images, and they've been reporting them as well. So I think that's great. And, you know, credit to you guys and girls and everybody else, because that's what you need to do. And yet, don't interact with them. Don't give them, because more people will see it than if you interact with them. Just report them, block them, report them. So, you know, they can't be seen on the timeline. So, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League is safe from spoilers, because it's going to be pretty bad enough on the 15th. I don't know if people have to sign anything for the 15th. It's only like 3 days, but those 3 days are going to be very, very vital. This is the problem with allowing ordinary, everyday people to see it 3 days before, because you can't trust those people. So are those people going to sign NDAs? I don't think so. I don't think so, because all I can see is that people have got this certificate or bit of paper or whatever, right? And it's like, well, you obviously didn't have to sign an NDA. Now, I don't know. I don't know how it works. But it does look like that if people want to leak it, there's nothing stopping them from leaking information from the film and taking pictures. So that is a bit worrying. So I think we all have to make the decision on the 15th, or like after the 15th, the 16th, and say 16th, 17th and 18th, should we come off of social media? Should we not interact with people? I can't do that. I want to make videos. I want to talk about things. Look, for a YouTuber who specialises in talking about the DCEU, the Snyderverse, DC in general, you know, TV and film in general, this is a big time. I mean, I'm having a bit of a jump with views and everything, so I can't just retire. And I want to interact with you all you lot, because it's fun, isn't it? This is, you know, we've fought so hard to get this, so we don't really want to start switching off and leaving Twitter. And unfortunately, when you're on the internet, like I am, spoilers, I expect to get some spoilers. I won't reveal anything to my audience. If I do hear something, maybe people will want to talk to me about it. But I do plan, once I've seen this film, I think really, before I do the spoiler review, I've got to have seen this film at least 2 or 3 times. So, like, what, 12 hours altogether, or something like that. So, after the first time, definitely a non-spoiler review. I think after the second one, I think I'm going to be too excited not to do a spoiler review. I do want to take my time with the spoiler review, just so I get my thoughts together, because this is not just any old film. It's a DC film. It's a film we fought for. And so I want to get this right. I want to get my reactions to this film right, because let's get this absolutely clear. This is massive for me. This has been absolutely fantastic. It's been my pride since, I think, 2019, 2018, 2019, to set up this channel and to meet so many new people. And you know what? Let me just say this. People talk about this channel not being very successful, that I'm not a good YouTuber, but let me tell you something. I remember when my mum was dying, and I remember sometimes I couldn't do videos, and I was getting so many DMs from people all over the shop, from different platforms, asking me, Mick, where's the DCEU Daily? And, you know, this was about 30 to 40 people asking me this daily. And I was thinking to myself, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? So you're telling me at least 30 or 40 people are interested whether I do these videos or not. And to elite YouTubers and to people out there, randoms and basics out there, you'll say, well, 30 or 40 people, who cares? I care. For me, that's amazing. For me to be doing these videos every day, making the effort, because I'm a passionate fan, because I'm not making any money out of it, and I may not be successful ever. I may not. This is the reality of this channel, that I may never even get to 1,000 subscribers. I could do it. I could get friends and family to subscribe, but I've never done that, because I want to measure this as a proper failure or success. At the moment, it's a failure. But as you can see, I'm persevering, because I actually love getting up in the morning, having breakfast, and then coming in here and prepping for the video. It's been really great. So there's not really, apart from this whole thing with the leak, there's nothing else. But I think there is a chance that it's sabotage, and it's a shame. It could be, look, it could very well be an accident, but it is very, very unlikely as well. So it's been a weird ride, but when you go against the studio like Zacks has, there are consequences. But the great thing is we're finally going to see this film. They gave him 70 million to finish it. He's done it. It's done. It's ready to watch. That's why it's been leaked. I mean, if it wasn't ready to watch, that would be really bad, allowing people to see someone's unfinished art. But yes, and as I say, well, I need to backtrack a bit, actually. Be aware that I obviously spoke about Ray Fisher, and of course, we got the Cyborg promo today. But as you're watching this video, as per usual, because I'm recording these things in weird timings to my reaction to each promo, you would have already seen the Cyborg promo. I will do a separate video, as I do every day, to react to that promo. Because, look, they've been fantastic. Something to look forward to every single day, rather than, you know, getting up, looking forward to the film, but not I think the promos are important. And I don't know what he's going to do in the next, where are we now? I think we've got, what, it's Tuesday today. We've got about 8, 9, something like that, days left. I think 9 days left to the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. So he's going to keep on putting something out there. I still believe he will put out a full final trailer. I also think the promo, look, he's starting to flow out a lot of promos. We had the Darkside, we had Wonder Woman yesterday, the day before we had the Atlanteans versus Steppenwolf. So I think he's going to be not leaking, but releasing a couple of promos a day. What I want, though, I want them available properly. I was like, it's difficult to react to them. It's difficult to watch them properly. I like to download my trailers. So the Darkside one, the volume's really low, as you all know, and it's difficult to make out what's going on. It's listen, I want a crystal copy version of that, like I've got the rest, because let's talk about that a little bit, actually. I mean, I think many of us haven't discussed it properly. I mean, we've got Deathstroke, older Flash. We hear the Joker laughing, don't we? And I think we kind of see his green hair as well. There's a lot in there. You know, Darkside, the Darkside stuff is sensational. And we get a brilliant performance from Henry Cavill as Superman on his knees. He must be in some pain. He must be being tortured by Darkside. Or is he? Is it because he's infected by the anti-life equation and he's trying to resist it? This is really interesting because I'm assuming Superman will also... This is interesting because a lot of people are saying Superman won't be in this movie a lot. There's a way to make sure Superman is in this movie more when we go... Because what you can do when you go into the nightmare future, Superman is there. He's this tormentor. He's kind of, you know, he's Lord Darkseid's first in command, right? Because Darkseid's got control of him. So you could easily have... I mean, I don't know how long we're going to spend in the nightmare future. It could be about half hour, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. But I'm sure we'll see Superman there as well. So that's interesting. I think the narrative of this film, nobody understands what this narrative of this film is going to be. I mean, just judging from the Darkside promo. And the other promos are kind of, they're just showing similar stuff that Zacks shot that was put into Justice League. This is why I know Zack knows everything about Justice League, because he's using things we've kind of already seen in the marketing for the individual character promo. He's putting slightly a new slant on it, and there's kind of new sequences as well. But mostly he's trying not to give the game away. But what he did with that Darkside promo, that really shows the epicness of this film. You know, as I say, you see Superman, you see Deathstroke, you see a lot of amazing things. You see the nightmare future, and you see Wonder Woman as well. So that, I think, kind of gets you pumped in a different way, doesn't it? Because don't forget, it was Kevin Smith originally that said Darkseid's in the movie. Now, Kevin Smith told us, thanks to a test screener who said to him that Darkseid's in it in the end or something. Well, this is different because Darkseid seems to be in this quite a lot. We see him on... Let's talk about this. In this promo, in this Darkside promo, he's literally on his throne like this, and he's talking, and he looks fucking brilliant. He's literally got fire and brimstone in his eyes. It's magnificent. I've defeated 130,000 worlds, or whatever he says. It is fantastic. I was surprised we got that. I think that's why some of us thought it may be a leak. But, you know, Zack has got this covered. The marketing that he's doing is sensational. And just to see Darkside kind of speaking and in action. Actually, someone had a ridiculous hot take about Darkside, that Darkside shouldn't speak. And I'm thinking, that doesn't make any sense. If he doesn't speak, how do we know his intentions? I mean, he can speak through other people. Maybe because Lord Darkside wants this, but that's crap. Of course you want Darkside to speak, and Darkside's already always spoken in animation and in comic books. I don't know if there's a graphic novel or a couple of graphic novels where Darkside doesn't actually speak, but you want look, this modern day audience doesn't want that shit. It doesn't want that kind of we like nuance, but we don't want to take the piss here. Otherwise, we're going to go to what Marlon Brando wanted from the original Superman movie. He wanted Jor-El to be a fucking bagel, and he wanted all the Kryptonians to be a bagel. And, you know, Ilya Sulkin, the producer, and Dick Donner, the director, thought they were screwed until Dick explained to him, you know, that people have been reading Superman comics for years, and everyone knew exactly what Jor-El and the Kryptonians looked like. So we don't want to start saying that Darkseid shouldn't speak. But we are in kind of the vital time now, because we're only really a few days away, just over a week now, and it's kind of, the imagination is running away with people. What is this going to be? What kind of movie is this going to be? Is this the movie that we all hope and pray it's going to be? Or is it going to be a disappointment? I don't think it's going to be a disappointment whatsoever, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Man of Steel, and I'm a fan of Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. So, when I look at those two films, I'm not disappointed by them. So I think if you like those two, and you like the kind of trajectory Zack was going with them, you're going to love this. This is a completed movie. This is not a half-assed thing. This is he completed all the scenes he wanted to shoot. He's even done extra scenes when they announced after they announced that Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut was actually happening. And so there was never a question that this isn't Zack's complete vision. I think this is listen, he did have a darker version. This is the thing. We don't know what he shot and what he didn't shoot, because Zack talks in riddles. He's told us before that he shot what the studio wanted, and he shot the other stuff that he wanted. That's interesting. He also told us that a couple of his and Terrio's scripts were said to be too dark, so they went back again. But I go back to what I've already previously said. He said he was shooting the stuff that he wanted to shoot, as well as the stuff that they wanted him to shoot. So that's interesting. So I think Zack went back to kind of square one with this film and said, you know what? I shot all this stuff, right, for this very reason. So I think he dumped the stuff he shot for them, and he's put the stuff that he shot from his and Chris's script. So I think this is Zack Snyder's and Chris Terrio's complete vision for Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. So I think nobody has to be concerned that this is some kind of compromised version. This is it. This is what we've been fighting for. This is what we've been dreaming for. And, Zack would never do us dirty. I know that. He really is doing this for us. And he's put it together in the right way. And I think this is why Tom Hokenberg, a.k.a. Junkie XL, said he pretty much had to do the score again, because obviously 4 hours, an over 4 hour movie, and his score is about 4 hours. Just imagine that. I want you to think about this for a minute, that we've actually got a score for a film that's nearly 4 hours. That means every single sequence has got music in it. That's nuts, isn't it? And I tell you what, the main theme for the Justice League that Tom, a.k.a. Junkie XL, has actually composed is brilliant. I downloaded it and I get it on my TV, because my TV has got Dolby Atmos sound. So it's much better than listening to, not the soundtrack, because I don't have access to the soundtrack. By the way, I wish that we could have access to the soundtrack now. I always like having the soundtrack of a film like a week or so before it releases. I remember having the soundtrack for Superman Returns. Probably the soundtrack for Superman Returns is better than the actual movie. And I remember blasting that out for a week, then going to see the film. It gives you a kind of new familiarity with the film when they do that. But this soundtrack is not being released till the same day, which is kind of a shame, but maybe it gives the ghost away. But although Zack has released the chapter titles, hasn't he? Which doesn't give things totally away, but there's a few clues in there, isn't there? So I would have liked the soundtrack to be released a little bit early, but it's not going to happen. This is a unique situation. Hollywood hasn't seen this before. You know, this is the thing. Hollywood normally controls the narrative, as I know from being in Hollywood for 6 months. And in this one, they lost the narrative. So if there was sabotage with that leak, then I think that wouldn't surprise me at all. But yeah, we've controlled the narrative. Zack's controlled the narrative. Our narrative and Zack's narrative is the truth. Always remember this. The narrative of a director and fans is the truth, and the narrative of a studio are half-truths. So they wanted to push out this whole thing that Zack couldn't work on this film anymore, couldn't finish it off because of the loss of his daughter, which of course would be totally understandable. And there were truths, a little bit of a truth to that, but it wasn't, you see what I mean? I'm talking about half-truths. We and the director come from a place with a narrative of truth, and these people come from a narrative from half-truths. So they're not blatant liars, but they don't tell you the full truth. And this is when you see these like Blu-ray bonus features. It's all bullshit. We're all friends. We all love each other. Yeah, the producer's standing there. The studio head's just standing behind him. Oh, yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, it's just not the way these things work. There's no family environment. I genuinely believe that with Zack and his cast and his people, there is a good family environment. And I think Dick Donner on Superman the Movie did the same thing, because so many actors said that. But I think in terms of the studio, they don't care about family environments. They just care about this, and they care about word of mouth, and they care about social media activity. That's their job. That's what their job is. It's to create interaction and profit. You can't blame them for wanting that, and this is why they never speak the truth. So Zack's truth and our truth is the truth, and this is the narrative that took over. And this is part of the reason WB is so butthurt. And they really are. And they have pulled some strokes to try and derail this movie, because they didn't greenlight this movie. John Stanky did at AT&T. They don't like that. What did we get from Christopher Nolan about Jason Kilar when, HBO Max, or should I say Warner Media, decided to break the release window, have them release on HBO Max and in theatres were available at the same time? What was it that Christopher Nolan or someone said at the Hollywood Reporter? He doesn't understand how it works. That's a very dangerous thing to say, because that kind of means is that we kind of got a rigged system here, and he's not rigging it anymore. He's trying to be fair to the company and the audience. What's all that about? They don't like it, you see. The best thing that Warner Media did was break the release window. Because, as I've already said many times, you can't just let these films queue up, and they're greenlighting films all the day and all the time and making more. So you can't just leave those films in a queue. They had to do this. And I'm sure originally when they greenlit the Snyder Cut, they kind of thought, shit, here, we're not going to have anything to release here. No hype. This film will bring us the hype we need. I don't know if they decided to do this earlier, if they still would have released Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'd like to think the answer to that is yes, but it doesn't matter. It is happening now. It will not be stopped. It is going ahead. We are finally going to see this movie, and that is so vital and so important, because the fans, look, people ask me about my fellow Snyderverse fans all the time. All the time. And what are they like? Are they toxic? Are they nice people? I said, listen, they're like all people involved in a group, or, they're fandoms. They're different people. You can't just lump them in as the same. There's some people who live in a room all on their own. There's some people that don't have much money. There's some people who are very wealthy. So they're all different. And the people from the fandom that I've interacted with are mostly really, really good, passionate. That's the word, passion. Passion is important in life. And what I'd say about you guys, and I class myself as one of you, is that you're all different and varied. And that's the beautiful thing about this fandom. It's not just white people. It's not just black people. It's all sorts of people. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about this fandom. It is global. And I am saddened that HBO Max haven't serviced, well, they have said that everyone around the world will be able to see it on the 18th, but we won't all be able to see it via an HBO Max subscription, which I think's kind of done us dirty. I don't think it's totally their fault. There's so many copyright rules and different legislations around the world. It's very difficult when you first release a streaming service to have it globally straight away. I mean, Disney have rolled it out as many countries really quickly as possible, but even they haven't. For example, Disney Plus isn't here. And so it is a challenge for these studios, but maybe there has to be some kind of change in the rules. But I believe that 99.1% of countries will be able to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut on the 18th of March. And ultimately, that's all that matters. I want you to comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back later. Well, this is weird. I will be making the Cyborg reaction, the trailer reaction, after I've done this video, obviously, but you will see that reaction trailer before you see this DCEU Daily. And by the time you've seen all of this, none of this, what I'm saying, is going to make sense. So comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back later on. See you again soon.